Well, I'm back. Sorry about being gone so long. I had full intentions of making winter videos this year, but one thing I didn't take into account, even though I got plenty of winter gear, is the fact that I'm married to a school teacher. And even though I'm retired from working in a school district, I still succumb to all the great little bugs the little kitties bring. And I was sick for the entire month of November. And that was not fun. And I did have some footage from my fishing in October, but a lot of it, the camera angle wasn't right. I'm using a Picasso camera, not a GoPro. And sometimes I don't have the camera set right for its angle. And you either see my kneecaps, but you see the fish on land, or you see me casting and setting the hook, but you don't see the fish that when I land the fish. The camera is just, the Picasso was really good. I mean, you had to set it for wide angle, and that would be like normal angle for GoPro. But it has very small vertical view. You know, it's like you can't see very much. It's very small realm of being able to view when it comes to the Picasso. So this year I went with a GoPro, and even though a Picasso has the view on my camera as well, but I can tell just from my phone that the bottom view is way better than the Picasso. I mean, you couldn't see my phone this low and still be able to see, you know, up here. You know, I'm looking straight forward, and you can still see my hand here. And with the Picasso, you would maybe see the top of the car, and you'd only see maybe a part of the kayak. So I went with the GoPro for 2024. I'm going to be using the GoPro, and the Picasso I may have to use for recording voice, because the GoPro just has that internal microphone, and during windy conditions it may be noisy. And here in the valley, when isn't it windy? It gets pretty windy most of the time, so I'll have to see about that. What I was going to work on today was I was going to put in a USB port on the kayak to charge the phone on, because the phone will burn its battery before the GoPro does. So I thought about installing a USB port somewhere here, and I don't hardly use any life in this battery with the little depth finder that I have. You know, I charge that battery up, and it lasts me for months. Hardly even use any of the juice from it. So I thought, well, I can plug in a battery charger and I'll plug in the phone and keep it charged if I'm out there for a prolonged period of time. I don't know how long live feed on my phone will burn the battery down, but I assume it will burn it down pretty fast. But while I'm doing that, I thought I would give my opinion about this kayak, if anybody's interested in it. Quite honestly, I'd be more interested myself in the cheaper brands to see whether or not the $300, $500, $1,000 is really worth it. Because if you're going to spend $3,500 like I did, it better be good, and it is. It is really good. It's a sturdy built craft. Its navigation is incredible, with that rudder being underneath. Here, let me hoist this up into the truck here real quick. Make sure I get the right angle here. The rudder being underneath. Get it here, like this, instead of right here like a lot of others. Having it down here underneath means that you need to keep it protected when you're loading it and unloading it out of the truck, which you can see I use the C-tugs wheel system. Now, Native Watercraft has that wheel system that goes right here, and these channel locks, and then it has a bar and then the wheels on it. I've never seen anybody on video who has them actually deploy it, so I have no idea how it deploys. I don't know if it's like a push button that unlocks it and both sides rotate down, then locks in place, and then you put like a locking pin to ensure the lock. Does it come down individually, which would suck if it does. I really don't know how it works. I did see one video where someone had it deployed and they were pulling it across the lawn, and boy, the arms that those wheels were on was just going boop, 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 and that thing was just vibrating. You know, stuff was just shaking so hard, and so I really wasn't sold on it. It might make it easier getting it in and out of the truck. I don't know, but like I said, I've never seen anybody on any videos on YouTube actually deploying it to show what it looks like when you're at the boat ramp and you want to go home. How do you deploy the wheels? You know, I mean, here in the back of the truck, it should be easier to deploy the wheels and then get it out, but what about the reverse? But I haven't seen anybody do it, so I have no idea. The Sea Tug, I got it Amazon. I put it back here when I unload it to protect the rudder. You know, you just pull the kayak out. Boom. Now, because the Watercraft has this part of the bow that dips down to protect your depth finder, it really catches right here at the end of my tailgate, you see. So I could tell where it's at. And the Sea Tug does have a little brake lever on it so that it doesn't roll back on you. This thing right here, if I'm getting that on view right, where'd I put, oh, here it is. You know, it does have this is the brake here. It kind of keeps it upright too while you're loading the kayak. You have this down, and then you just kind of pick up the back end of the kayak and set it on this, and then you strap it down. But what I do mostly is while it's floating in the water, I'll just slip it on. It's in the water, I just slip it around and pull it tight, and then I spin it around and pull it up into the truck. Now I'm pulling this, let's say if I'm going to Minto Brown, where the kayak launch, you know, the parking lot's way over here, and the kayak launch is a good 150 yards away, and it's all grass. Well, not all grass, but it's a paved walk for only so far, and then it's a grass the rest of the way, which turned me off with those legs, because like I said, when I saw somebody pulling it, those individual aluminum legs were just going just vibrating like crazy as he was trying to pull it across grass. What I could do, because it's be easier on my hands, is that I would have this then further up here, so more weight of the kayak is on the wheels and less on my arms. So I would unload it, and then I would loosen it, scoot it forward, retighten it, and then it works more. A little bit easier on the arms than having an 86 pounds on your arm. Let's go with a little negative here. The only real negative I have about this kayak is the oar, or the paddle storage. The paddle storage back here, it clips on here. You separate your paddle and you clip it down here. You can see it would get in your way when you're loading and unloading. You would have to be a contortionist to be sitting here and turn around and get your paddles and then reconnect it. It's just not practical. That's why I got the Yak Attack paddles lock system. So I want easy, quick access to this. I don't want to have to try and break my spine twisting around to try and get to this thing. And not only that, if they were to come off, I'm facing this way, I'd never know if they fall off. I can reach back and go, hey, where'd my half of my paddle went? It'd fall off. You'd never know. So this back here, it's completely useless. I don't know. That's just one thing I don't like about it. And there's the part where the transducer, I don't think it's unique to just Watercraft, but the cavity where the transducer sits, it is awfully shallow. And you know, you buy a depth finder, a fish finder, you know, and like I did, I went to Garmin's, you know, fish finders for kayaks. I clicked on it, and it was nice. It was a nice little small profile, nothing big. It's great. But the transducer mounts like it mounts on a boat. So it's got this huge block, plastic block that it came with. That's the mounting block. Well, that drops it down a good almost 3 inches. And then of course the transducer, the mounting bolts to the transducer, the holes are up here, and here's your transducer. Instead of like this, it's up here, so that drops the transducer even more. So pretty much your transducer is sticking out way below the cavity. And sometimes even, you know, with this bow coming down like this, it even was lower than that. So it would get cut off for weeds, because again, it's a kayak, not a boat. I'm going to take this place over some weeds sometimes, you know, and just loading it and unloading it from the truck with the transducer just to stick out, it would hit on this tailgate and scratch the heck out of it or damage it. And getting to the boat ramp, sometimes it's soft sand, so the front bow sticks into the soft sand and then allows the transducer to get into the gravel and scratch the heck out of that. So I had to use something different. I had to mount the transducer differently so that it gets mostly up into the cavity and it gets protected. But, I mean, really, I don't really use it to find fish. I use it for, you know, for depth, to find underwater structure and water temperature. That's the main thing I use it for. And so, but I don't think that's native Watercraft is a shallow transducer cavity. I think all kayaks have, because they don't have that much room. So I kind of blame the fish finding people, especially Garmin, when they have their website and they say, oh, this is specifically for kayaks. No, it's not. The transducer still mounts like it's on a boat. It's ridiculous. You know, the mounting block doesn't need to be this huge. I mean, that mounting block was that big. It was ridiculous. I went on Amazon and got a different mounting bracket. It was a little bit better, about half the amount of plastic, but it was still dropping the transducer way out of the cavity. I mean, I could see the mounting bolts for the transducer still. I could see the mounting bolts sticking. It lowers it so far down, and I can't get it up any higher. But if they would have a mounting bracket and then having the transducer, instead of the mounting bolts for the transducer on top of the transducer, but in line with it, or even maybe just slightly off, you know, that way the transducer, you can put the mounting block at the height that you want, and then that transducer just stays, and then it can just stay just ever so slightly below that cavity. That would be a fish finder for kayaks, because we're kayakers, we go shallow. This storage area back here is inaccessible while you're in the kayak. It's great to put your wallet and your keys in, you know, but I was thinking, boy, you know, instead of doing that, why not have the battery in there, and then that would give you even more storage up here in the front, even though this is a great little battery box, you know. But if I can have that back there, because you don't need to access the battery while you're in the kayak, then you can have that much more storage up front. But it's still great, and even more great is this storage under the seat. This was the big seller for me, and that was this storage under the seat. I mean, that was just big time. Oh my gosh, you know, why doesn't everybody do that? You know, that is just awesome. I gotta clean that. And of course, you got your storage here for your storage trays. That's great. I'm going to go with the crate next year instead of a tackle box. So I'm going to have individual trays, and then I'm going to have my quick access, what I'm going to use for the day, in these trays, and then everything else in the crate back here. It's easy to navigate with that drop down rudder system. Oh man, even in the current, in the wind, I'm able to fight against the wind a lot easier. You have this pull cable right here. Just lift it up like that. It's got these locking teeth right here, and then let it go, and I gotta tighten that spring. I can see that now. And then of course your rudder then goes down like that. Look at that. And that gives you even better steering. Make sure I'm getting that. But yeah, that gives you even better steering with the rudder angled down like that. You know, and it's not rock solid. I mean, if you find yourself shallow and you accidentally bump into a log or a rock or something, it'll be all right. You know, going this way it won't be, but coming from this direction, you'll be fine. If you accidentally have that down, you find yourself got to shallow real quick. As long as you're going straight in. But yeah, that again, here's the cable, and you know, let's see, make sure I get that on video here. Probably can't see it. Here, let's try this. Take it off my head. Okay. Yeah. That is nice. And that really makes a world of difference when it comes to navigating in the water. You can really turn on a dime with that rudder in the down position. Yeah, this thing is very durable. It's pretty steady too when you're standing in it. You can see some of my videos, I'm actually standing up, and it's pretty stable even when you're standing up. The mech, which I don't have out, let me go grab that. Okay, here's the mech. There's the mech. I call it the mech anyway, the pedal system, the propel. We're talking all metal. You know, these are plastic and this is plastic, but other than that, everything else is metal. That thing is 20 pounds by itself. But one of the main things I got this kayak for is that I do both deep weeds, shallow, and open water. When I know I'm not going to be in water that it's just going to be impossible to use this, just take it off and don't take it. I just went like this, and because it has this cover over the top of the hole, it acts just like a kayak, you know, and I just use my paddles, you know. But if I'm in the river, or if I'm going to Silverton Reservoir, which I will be going soon, I could take the mech. And you know, it's easy deployment. You know, you just raise that up, just take, you know, got elastic straps here, take the elastic strap loose, boom, now you're whole, and then you drop it down, and there you go. You know, you put this right back over the top, you know, and you get in the shallow part of the river, pop that off, grab that, you have this thing here, push down. And when you pedal, it turns the prop, it goes up against the prop, then goes up against this thing because this thing's down, and it gets the prop nice and lined so you can pull it up out of the hole, cover that back up, boom. So that, you know, the two reasons I got this is because this is not permanent. It's something I don't have to take if I don't need it. You know, I don't have a gaping hole when I don't. Under seat storage. The side storages are nice, and it's easily updatable with I got the wiring for the fish finder, you got these panels, removable panels, you know, and you can drill the hole and you can put your wiring right through there. You know, you got one on both sides. I don't think I'm going to put my USB port on that though. I don't want it to get too close to water. Even though I think it comes with a cap. Let's find out, shall we? I'm not going to make a video about how to install this because I don't even know how I'm going to do it. Oh yeah, it does come with a, yeah, that's right, it does come with a little. So I might get 2 USB ports, but I'm going to put my battery charger on there. But I could plug the phone in. It does have a waterproof cap I could put on there, so I could if I wanted to. But yeah, it's worth the money. It's a great little watercraft. I have had no issues. I got it. The cables were already set for the rudder. I've had no issues with the cable slipping. I have no issues with the stability of the craft, the steering, the mech itself. You know, some people they show that they take this off. I could not get mine off. You know, I got that separator wrench. I could not loosen these at all. I looked in the owner's manual and they literally said they put Loctite on this. So how am I going to break it loose with the Loctite on there? I don't know. I could not get in here, but it has a port right here. You just undo this port and you can squeeze your grease in there, and I just use what they recommended. There's nothing different than the bicycle grease. Yeah, it's probably not as durable as, you know, some industrial grade grease, but I didn't see any reason to. This is a bicycle to begin with. You know, it works great for my bicycles. Why can't it work great for this? And the owner's manual said that's what they use. So yeah, I just open that up. I just fill that thing up with grease. I was able to take this off. This isn't Loctite, so I was able to take this entire mechanism out and re-grease it. So it's really good maintenance wise. It really works great. You know, it's very durable, very nice, very smooth. And yeah, I'm very pleased with the SlayerMax model, Watercraft SlayerMax. This is the Propel 10 footer, and yeah, there's just very few negatives. Like I said, the only negatives is the paddle storage. That's the only big negative I have for the whole thing. Like I said, the only other suggestion I would like to see is maybe change this into battery storage instead of a place to put your keys and your wallet, or if that's what it's designed for. You can't access it from the seat, so I really don't know what else you could use that for. But I put everything up here. So, and this has a watertight seal. This has a watertight seal on it. So, you know, works just fine. But if you really want to get serious, you're retired like myself, and you go fishing frequently, it's worth the money. It's definitely worth the money. If you can convince the better half that it's worth the money, it is. You are not wasting a dime. You'd be really happy with this, and good luck with you. Okay, well, there we go. I'm gonna go try and go fishing now that I feel better. It's December. Trout fishing over at Silverton. Go to the Silver Creek Reservoir. This year I've got the GoPro camera. This will be my second year of using a camera. So hopefully I'll get a little bit better and you will see less kneecaps and more fish action. I'm gonna go probably a little bit further south to Albany, and there's a 3 lakes down in Albany that I was interested in South Albany. Not lake number 1 and lake number 2. This is Lynn County Park. It's called I think it's just called 3 lakes. No, they're called Freeway Lakes, I think. Freeway. freeway lakes, because the lakes were made when they were building the freeway, and you literally go underneath the I-5 to get to the third lake, which is better of the three. And I thought about giving that one a try. I normally don't drive long distance to go fishing because physically it's hard on me. I can only go fishing for, you know, maximum 4 or 5 hours, and then I gotta go in. It's part of my cancer. But I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try that, and I might even go to my old stomping grounds. When I grew up in Forest Grove, Oregon, and I used to go to Hag Lake at Scoggins Valley, Henry Hag Lake, and the last time I went, it was free. That tells you how long ago it was. When I was a kid, I went there. I went fishing there for trout. They actually got the state smallmouth record there back in '56, I think, or '61, something like that, and I don't think it's been beat yet. But they got largemouth there too. But that's a long drive for me, so I'm going to try and see if I can go to Hag Lake. Which I'd like to find someplace else to go largemouth fishing now that Mission Lake basically just died on me. Well, like I said, next time we'll go to Silverton, or I'll just make scouting videos of me going to the freeway lakes in Albany. I might even do a scouting to see how long it takes for me to get to Henry Hag Lake. It's all back roads from here. But anyway, that's my game plan for 2024. I'll see if I can go again before Christmas and do a little bit of trout fishing at Silver Falls, or not Silver Falls, but Silver Creek Reservoir. I will catch you that time. Till then, have a Merry Christmas if I don't see you before.